I'm sorry that we're going here right now, that I'm having this moment. Like, please don't say XYZ pattern by at Fancy Girl Knits. Put like your actual name. Hello, 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 and welcome to the Wool Needles Hands podcast. My name is Taylor, and I will be your host. Today's video is going to be, wait for it, a short update video. And I know a lot of people, whenever I say it's going to be a short video, I don't have a lot to talk about, they are correct in saying that those usually end up being the longest videos. But today, I am fairly certain that's not going to be the case because I really only have a very little bit of knitting to share with you, but I'm excited to share this with you because it's something new that I'm working on right now. I'll just bring it over. And it's just a new style that I'm working on. And I think one of the things I really love about it is that even though it's sleeveless in nature, and I'll tell you what it is in just a second, it's kind of got this vibe about it because I'm knitting it maybe in wool as opposed to like a cellulose-based yarn, that it has like an all-season type aesthetic to me, at least. And also considering that the climate where I live is pretty temperate. I live in the southern Nevada, in the Southwest United States. It gets really hot in the summer times here, and then the rest of the year, it's pretty temperate. I mean, we get chilly, but this could work. You layer it with something cute over the top. Okay, you guys, this is the Sabai top. This is a design. I don't know why I can't remember. It's Paula Strict on Instagram, Paula M. However, when you look up this pattern on Ravelry, there's a different name, and I don't understand why. Okay, Sabai top by Susanne Müller. Okay, so the Sabai top is by Susanne Müller, but when you look at the I didn't mean to download that again. I can't read this very well because it is in German, so just give me a minute. I want to understand why all the different, like Paula, Susanne, who is this person? My username is Paula Knits. My website is Paula Strict. Paula M stands for Paula Müller, my grandmother who knits and crochets everywhere and who inspired me with handicrafts as a child and continues to inspire me even today at over 90 years old. My goal is to create accessories that look good, fit perfectly, are uncomplicated, and yet have that certain something that subtly catches the eye. I am now loving the Paula M I mean, I guess you could say this is like her brand name, right? For Susanne Müller. What a way to honor her grandmother. You know what I kind of love about that is that this bag, a lot of you may know where this came from, but this was a bag that I knit to replicate the woven bag that was on here. That was my grandmother's sewing bag that was like 75 or some odd years old. And these handles I repurposed from that bag as a way to do like something new with something old. And I'm just making weird connections, okay? But now I understand because I was trying to figure out who the writer of the pattern was because I blanked and I didn't have the website in front of me. And I was thinking, Paula doesn't sound familiar. Okay, the design is by Susanne Müller. Susanne Müller knits under the brand that she has created, Paula M, or Paula M Knits, or Paula Strict, which is named after her grandmother. You learn something new every day. Listen, this is something new that I cast on after my whole debacle with the little blue improvised tee that I started working on. Watch my previous episode, we go into it over there. Needless to say, I have backburnered that project. It's going to have to be frogged, but I just kind of set it up to the side. I don't really want to tackle that right now. I wanted to do something different, and I had seen this come up in my Ravelry feed, and I thought it was just so lovely. This particular version in particular, which is Sabai top number 2, Sabai top number 1 is a little different. This one is Sabai top number 2, which is also lovely. And I feel like if I love this as much as I think I'm going to love it, I might want to knit this one too. But this one has a ribbed neckline, as you'll see. And it also has really lovely sleeve details, or I shouldn't say sleeve, more like underarm details from what I can see. Yeah, kind of like a cool underarm detail that runs along the side here. I just think they're so lovely. Just a really classic item. You can wear it like a tank top. You can wear it like a shell under something else. I just think it's great. I am knitting this with, I don't know if you can hear my doorbell, but I think a child has just arrived at our door to play with my boys. I am knitting this one in Knitting for Olive. You can see here, it's a little bright. Knitting for Olive, and this is the Nordstrand or Nordic Beach colorway. This is extra fine merino. Okay, anyway, that's what I'm knitting my Sabai top. Is that how you pronounce that? Go ahead in the comments. I know somebody's just itching how to pronounce Sabai. Please, I don't know. I'm just doing the best I can. So let's turn Gladys around. We just got back from Arizona. We took a little trip to Williams, Arizona, hence this wristband. We're playing the whole who can keep their wristband on the longest situation with my family. We did the Canyon Coaster. In Williams, Arizona, which is worth every penny. So much fun. We had a great time, but we love going to Williams, Arizona. It's considered the gateway to the Grand Canyon. If you are from out of the country, or if you've ever visited to go to the Grand Canyon or have plans on doing that, you would go through Williams most likely to get there. It's just such a cool town and such an amazing area in northern Arizona. We love it. Anyway, I feel like the allergies kind of kicked up when I was there. What are we talking about? Back to business. You don't even have hair, Gladys. How is this possible? Now, the back is identical to the front so far, and this is what I'm working. You're pretty much creating the fronts and the back separately, and then you're going to connect them at the underarm for your armholes. And as you're creating the front and the back, you start by just working straight rows across to create a nice flat panel, and then you start to shape. You can see it coming out this way with increases to go around the underarm, so it kind of goes nicely under your underarm. And that's what I've done here, and I'm doing the exact same thing on the backside right now. And my goodness, this has worked up really quickly, considering I started it right before we left, and pretty much everything you see here up to this point was done in the car, and only to and from. I didn't work on it while we were there. There just really wasn't a whole lot of time. And then everything from here down was just this morning. And for me, that's not bad, considering I've only been working on it during some serious downtimes. But I love it. I think it's great. It's just simple stockinette. I'm holding 2 strands of this yarn together to give me that DK weight. I have all good things to say about this. I know some folks were mentioning that, I'm just gonna get you up close to the fabric. Some folks were mentioning that people were talking about the armhole depth and having to make modifications to the armhole depth. And I will say that that is probably a more likely place for there to be issues, because you might fit one particular size, but your arms may be a little larger than a person of that size on average. I tend to have larger arms around, I don't know, biceps, I don't know, but I will probably have to keep an eye on that. And if I do need to make any adjustments, it probably won't be in the depth necessarily, but maybe the opening of the armhole. I might need to add maybe some more stitches to either side just in case, but I will be paying attention to that for sure. But I'm loving the fabric. It is merino, and it's 2 strands of fingering weight yarn held together, but even so, the drape is really nice, and that drape is going to open up even more after blocking. So I'm really loving it. I'm going to sit this here back on Gladys. Loving this. This is the Sabai top number 2. I think it's just fabulous. I've enjoyed working on it so much. Now, that is not the yarn that I backburnered, obviously, because it's not blue, from my little blue tee. This is that yarn here, okay? This is by Knit and Crochet. It was a brand that Joanne carried. Some other retailers are starting to carry this, and Michaels is going to begin carrying this again as well. It's 100% cotton, and it's fantastic. It's a DK weight yarn. I gush about this in the last, I don't know, 3 episodes, but it's great. I'm going to move her just there, a little off to the side. What I do want to do with this, I do have another design in mind, and it is the Lacy Loop Tee. Again, I printed out the pattern because I'm old school like that, and nowhere on this pattern that I have printed does it say the actual designer's name. I know we live in this world where everybody just goes by an Instagram handle, but we really need to start embracing putting our actual names on the pattern. I'm sorry, it's a soapbox of mine, I think, at this point. Please don't say XYZ pattern by at, fancy girl knits or something. I just made that up, by the way. Put like your actual name, okay? I just think that people need to be doing this. Okay, again, this is the lacy loop tee, and if you look at the pattern page, it says by other loops, which is like the handle. Okay, but how about your name? I have to scroll all the way down to find out who other loops is, and it doesn't tell me who that is. I mean, okay, if you're trying to be anonymous, I guess my username is Other Loops Designs, and my website is otherloops.com. Okay, behind Other Loops, you will meet up with Maha Klodval, who has a degree as fashion designer from the Design School of Kolding in Denmark. Okay, that is, since her education, Maha has made a career in the fashion industry where she has worked and accelerated the growth for several well-known Danish fashion. You deserve to have the name, like your name, under your work. I'm sorry that we're going here right now, that I'm having this moment, but I really firmly believe, like an artist or a writer or anybody who's creating, you need to go by more than just your website name or your Instagram handle. You need to use your name unless you have some other serious reason not to. This person I can't imagine does because their name is here. I can find her name. Like, give yourself... Okay, sorry. Anyway, this design is gorgeous. I love it so much. It's the Lacy Loop Tee by Maja Klovdal. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this fantastic person's name, but that's the design that we're working with here. And it is just like a really lovely open work lacy tee. It kind of has this boxy fit with a really lovely drop shoulder, and this texture between like eyelets and garter stitch and stockinette is really eye-catching. The only thing about this that gives me a little bit of pause is the garter stitch border at the bottom of the sleeves and the hem of the shirt. I feel like I would want to replace that with ribbing, which I can very well do on my own, but it's not a deal breaker. It kind of adds a nice stability to the like base of the body of the sweater and the sleeves, like a little bit of a weight to balance out all that texture. I just think this looks so cool. And in the pictures, it just looks fantastic, super stylish. And the texture pattern looks relatively simple. So that's what I would like to knit with this yarn. So can you imagine that gorgeous lacy loop tee with this blue yarn? I think it would be gorgeous. Gorgeous, and that's my plan once I finish this number here. Fingers crossed. I have something else I want to talk to you guys about. Those of you that are here only for knitting, this is a time where you might just decide you're going to bail out, and that's fine, but I really invite you to stay. Just to hang out with me, knit, relax. You don't need to go searching around some other video. This one's just fine. Just relax, let's talk. Now, a lot of you know that I like to play video games. My husband and I, we are into the vidya games, as we like to say, and we have discovered a new one. Now, I have talked about the last few that I've played. The most recent that I've talked about, I believe, was Little Nightmares 1 and 2. So we finished the second of the Little Nightmares series, and my lord, I loved it. It was wonderful. I can't wait for the third game to come out in October. We decided to try to find something else, and I think since playing Little Nightmares, I also finished the game Limbo. Which was recommended by somebody else on that video where I talked about Little Nightmares, and that game was awesome. It's a puzzle game. It's a platformer side-scrolling type game. Really just kind of, I don't know, unsettlingly graphic for something that has no color. It's just black and white, but it was fun. Solving the puzzles and all of that was very enticing and engrossing. Well, once we finished those, we took a little bit of a break. We didn't play much of anything to speak of, but then we discovered another game that I want to say is relatively new, and it's called Blueprints. Okay, so it's a play on words, like blueprints of a house, but it's actually blue prince, like a prince of a kingdom. This game started off like, I don't know, I guess I got into the game thinking like, okay, this has my interest. Where are we going with this? And now this game lives rent-free in my mind constantly because it just gets in you with how mysterious it is, and the puzzles that you have to solve, and the fact that you only have a certain allowance of time in the form of steps that you take to gather as much information about this big mansion that you can, that helps you progress through the game. It's really hard to explain. You know what I'm going to do, because it is really hard to explain.
To the architect, an empty blueprint represents a world of possibilities.
I give and bequeath to my grandnephew all of my right, title, and interest in the house and land which I own near Mount Holly.
A world of dreams and doorways.
The above provision is contingent on discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate.
I suspect you wish me to look into your future.
Should my grandnephew fail, then this gift shall lapse.
It has like a very, what do they call those? Escape room, I think. I've never done an escape room, but I feel like it's like a little bit of an escape room, a little bit of a puzzle, lockbox type puzzle game. There's nothing I can say that's going to make you think like, oh yeah, this sounds just as intriguing as she's making it out to be. Like, you really have to just get your feet wet with it. So if you're into video games, if you play them frequently and you want to try something different that's very puzzle oriented, but the story is really engrossing, you're going to be taking notes and taking pictures and of the screen, all of these things, you need to check out this game. It's fantastic. The music that they play, like the background music, is really cool and cleverly placed. The animation style, the art style is really, I know, it's really lovely. So we're playing this right now. We're stuck in, and we absolutely love it. So it's called Blueprints. You can check it out. I talk about these games. I'm no way, shape, or form sponsored by these game developers. I just really love them. Yeah, so whoever recommended that game, in fact, I don't know if they recommended it here or over on the Good Books Lately channel, but they compared it to the book I have read recently called Strange Houses. And if there is a comparison, it's very loose, but the vibe, I guess, is kind of similar in that you're dealing with floor plans. But yeah, we really love this game. It's a lot of fun. So if you need some fun puzzling type games, check this one out, Blueprints. I recommend it. I love talking about video games with you guys occasionally. That's where I'm going to leave you guys. I've been on a little bit of a vacation, so I don't have as much to share with you guys. Like I said, we went to Arizona and had a great time. But I am excited to continue working on this when Brandon plays Blueprints and I sit there and help him with it when I'm not the one playing. This is what I'm working on, and it just makes it kind of fly by. But yeah, loving that, loving this, loving you. Thank you for being here. I will catch you guys in this week's episode of the Midweek Ramble. Also, if you are fans of Fiber for the People yarn, my hand-dyed yarn business, and you have yet to sign up for the Fiber for the People newsletter, definitely check it out and see if it's a newsletter for you. It comes out every Friday with an occasional newsletter in between. Anytime I put new yarn in the shop, which is a few times a week. It's the only real way that I promote what's in the shop currently or upcoming. I don't rely on Instagram for that. Very occasionally I'll send something over to Instagram to encourage people to check out the newsletter. But if you want to know when things are coming to the shop, what they are, information behind that, and other various bits and bobs, sign up for the newsletter. So that way you can stay in the loop, and I appreciate that support. And if you want to see some additional content from me, head over to Patreon. All the links are down below. There's additional content over there, and that's where, if I do host any knit-alongs, that's where they will be housed. New knit-alongs are coming in the fall, so you can keep an eye out for that. All right, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Happy knitting, happy making, happy whatever it is that you're doing. Take care, be well, and I will see you soon. Bye.